My new employer is trying to play games with my pay. My new employer is trying to play games with my paycheck. Edited to add, they just texted me saying my check will be ready at 10 a.m. to pick up tomorrow. I responded and said I'd like to know the amount, but no response back. I'll be going up there and bringing the phone back. What do I do or say if my check is less than it's supposed to be? I was hired as a social media manager for a popular cosmetic dentist. My offer was $5,000 monthly salary, but I'd be paid bi-weekly. My first few days I asked when I'd be doing any kind of legal paperwork. He told me I could be W-2 or contract. I request W-2. 2 weeks roll by and there's no word of when I'll be signing papers. Other red flags pop up and I decide this job isn't worth as I'm spending $75 a week in gas and almost the same in tolls. They're now requesting I bring the work phone back, which has all the content videos on there. I told them I have zero issue going to drop it off, but I need my full paycheck as I worked a full 2 weeks. The dentist is handing this off to the front desk and making it their issue. They're claiming we didn't agree on that salary, but she can't tell me what it is. I sent back my offer email stating the exact amount. Now she says they're trying to figure out how much to pay me because I wasn't there every day, but I absolutely was there every single day. They had no way of tracking my hours. I was also coming home and working more. Not to mention it shouldn't matter how many hours specifically as I was hired salary. Although it was over 40 hours a week I put in. They're making this quite difficult. How do I even go about getting my full check? I don't feel comfortable returning the work phone until I get paid. What would you do? Go to the labor board. Unfortunately, I can't back up my content. They've shut down the iPhone and I cannot get into it. So they get to keep my work and I cannot delete it. I don't want to keep the phone by any means, I just feel like it's my only leverage to get my money. $2,300 is a lot of money to just throw down the drain. Plus the several hundred I've already spent between gas and tolls. Copy your work. Delete it on their shit. Report to DAL. Seems like a golden opportunity to drag their ass on social media. They likely never added you to their payroll system, so doing that now makes no sense to them. Offer to send an invoice for the 2 weeks and let them 1099 you instead. 1. Is this the US? 2. Did they also not have you fill out an I-9? If no, report them to the DAL and ICE. Labor Board and lesson learned. Not a single hour of work without a signed agreement that goes over your start date, pay rate, full or part-time, and additional considerations. Put it out on their social media, lol. Labor Board action. Now. $5,000 12 months, $60,000. $60,000 2080 hours in a year, $28.85 per hour. Times that by the exact number of hours you worked. Tell them when you get that amount in pay you will be in to collect it and return the phone. Go to their bank where it is drawn and cash there in person. Do not deposit it in your account. Cash at their bank, get it before they can call in a stop payment. Job isn't worth as I'm spending $75 a week in gas and almost the same in tolls. People really don't value travel time. I would make a post on their account on how they are looking for a social media manager that is willing to do work for free, rolling on the floor laughing. They won't pay you. Delete the videos before you return the work phone. Sorry you're going through this. For anyone else reading this, always make sure to sign an actual contract employment form which includes all forms of payment and benefits. Don't ever just wait for it to get sorted out. Tell them you are submitting a claim via your state's workforce commission. This worked for me in a similar situation. The employer asked me cancel the claim and paid me what they owed me. Quit fucking with them and go straight to your state's Department of Labor. Keep all the information, including the dentist passing you off, and the lady at the front desk not knowing anything, probably because she's a receptionist. Try the Workforce Commission in your state if U.S. But if you weren't given signed an employment contract, how can they prove the phone wasn't a gift? Or in exchange for work completed? I would call a free legal hotline and see what your options are and would hold off making any decisions for now. Back up the phone if you can. Save it to a HDD that you own. Then wipe it and send it back. That way they can't claim that you stole the phone after they demanded it back. And they still don't get your work for free. Been there, done that. Labor Board and small claims. You mentioned tolls going to and from work, so that sort of documents transit. Also, your phone's travel history will show you were there during working hours. Also, go to the Better Business Bureau in addition to all the other recommendations. I don't know what state you're in, but in California, your employer must pay you your final paycheck on the day you quit. If you have given 72 hours notice. If you give less than 72 hours notice, the employer has up to 72 hours to issue your final paycheck. This is important because if the employer fails to do this, the employer owes you a waiting time penalty equal to 1 day's pay for each day the employer fails to give you your final paycheck, up to 30 days worth. So if you're in California, just wait until 30 days have passed. Then file a wage claim with the Labor Board. Go to your state Labor Board and file a report. Contact the IRS and report their refusal to give you paperwork for tax filings. Lastly, get a consultation with a local labor law attorney. Find out if the attorney thinks it's worth pursuing this with a suit. In theory, your former employer can be sued and held liable for what they owe you. Attorney fees, court costs, and a penalty on top of that. They fucked around. Now make sure they find out. Google Maps timeline can prove you were there. Attorney General of your state. That should get their attention. And so sorry they are jerks. Never start a job until the paperwork's been signed by both parties and you have a copy. That's your phone till you're paid for it. Doesn't that phone and your own phone track exactly where you were? Take it to small claims, subpoena everyone and everything. Send them an invoice with very specific as per agreement language. Include a prominent CC to your state's labor board and the IRS office that calculates and collects payroll taxes. I'm spending $75 a week in gas and almost the same in tolls. If this is true, your cards can provide receipts for these costs, and you are also on camera at every gas pump and toll booth. Your movements are already on record. If they want to argue that you weren't there, proof of your whereabouts can be found on public CCTV. Mention this when you talk to the labor board. If you have an Android phone, you can use Google Timeline to show where you have been, to prove you were present on those days. Surely iPhone has something similar. GL. Did you track your hours? Also, I'm not sure about Texas, but in Washington and even Idaho, if you're a W-2 or 1099 employee, it's a big no-no to work an employee without those documents filled out. I agree with others about contacting the labor board. And if you really want to shit in their Cheerios, holla at the IRS too.